Good day, community group leaders. I trust you're well, that you're having a good week. I thought I'd like to welcome you into 2018 with this video clip. It saves us having to get together and call a special meeting. There's so many meetings and things, as things start for the year, that I thought what I'd do is to give you the opportunity to connect with this video. It means you can do it in your own time, and rather towards March sometime we'll get together for a time where we can actually gather as all the community group leaders in the church. But I trust this will be a great year for you. I'm certainly heading in that direction, and there's a couple of things that I think would be great to just share with you on the outset. So, first thing I'd like to chat with you about is our focus for this year. You'll remember that last year in August, when we did the community group leader training, I mentioned to you something about a campaign strategy. Campaign strategy is where we get together as a whole community group entity, and we work towards building new community groups, new leaders, that kind of thing. And our focus for this year is not the community group campaign, okay? We're actually going to hold that off to probably next year. What we're wanting to do this year is to focus on consolidation. The reason for that is because I think it's really important that as we get into new material, some of the stuff that was shared in the community group leader training, that doesn't just lay dormant in a book somewhere, but it becomes something that we do, that we live, and that we live well. Okay? I'm sure you'd endorse that. I'm sure you know that that's what it entails. Making it happen, not just trying to tick off events in a calendar. So consolidation is what we're going to be looking after. Sure, when there becomes a need for a new community group to start, that we'll absolutely make that happen. But it won't be a strategy that we embark on at a particular time of the year that we all get involved in. That's something that we'll probably leave for next year. So, what are some of the things that we can do well, that we can focus on this year? The first thing is the spiritual health assessment. You'll remember those were given out last year. I've done mine. I must say that although I've put some work into the spiritual assessment plan, or the spiritual health plan, I haven't really got together with anyone yet in order to make it firm and bring that accountability. So I'm with you. From August last year, things started to get really quite busy, and so it's something that I want to make happen this year, and for you as well. I encourage you to do the spiritual health assessment if you haven't done it yet. See where your areas of strength are, see where your areas of weakness are, and then particularly in those areas of weakness, find out, bring the accountability with someone that you share that with, and then make it happen for you to grow in those areas. And then work from your strengths as well. Okay. So that's something I encourage you. In fact, particularly if you do that in this week of prayer and fasting, or if you do it just afterwards, it'll actually form the basis of a really nice strategy for you to embark on. Then you can obviously make printouts and give this spiritual health assessment to your whole community group. I know some of you already have done that, and I'd love to have some feedback as to how it went, how you felt it helped your community group. For those of you who haven't done it, this is an opportunity for you to do it. For you to assess as a leader where as a group your strengths lie and where your weaknesses lie, and then how you can gather together to do something about it, to work from your strengths and to encourage some of your weaknesses, just to help you be better in those areas. To go back to the community group leader training the notes that I gave you, you'll remember these. What I would suggest you do is go through your notes and then look at the areas where you can maybe bring some refocus in. So for example, the small group values and agreement. If you haven't done so already, you may want to make printouts and give it to your group. If you have done it, you maybe want to take them back to that and take them through it again, so that we begin to understand, live, breathe, do our values. Trevor was talking about that on Sunday, and so it'll be a great thing for you to bring those values front and center for your community group. Then to look at who you're looking to develop and mentor. There's notes in the training to help you do that. But have you chosen someone? Are you looking at someone? Maybe even more than one person. Maybe it's two people who you really see God having a design on their lives for leadership or some role that you want to see them take up and run with. So that's an opportunity for you. So in regards to the crawl, walk and run strategy, you would remember that I put some notes down for you on Dropbox that you can assess opportunities that you have in areas where you need to grow, and just have some fun with that. But go to those opportunities so that you're not left blank, or how are we going to do something in this area. Then you might want to look at what other relationships you need to work on. We spoke about the who you want to develop, who you want to mentor, but developing your relationship with Christ, developing your relationship with your area leader, even if you've developed a peer mentor, those kind of relationships are really key in being all that we can be as community group leaders. And so you may want to put some effort into that as well. So you can see there's lots that can be done. Even the things that I've mentioned would take you some time to work through. And it'll focus on consolidating what we're already doing, or what we've already set into motion or introduced into community groups and leadership. The next thing I want to talk about then is our calendar. And in the next little while, probably by the time this video gets out to you, I want to send you this calendar. I'll probably email it to you, but it's particularly in response to what you asked for last year. Remember, one of the things at one of the meetings we had, you expressed the need for us to have more, for you to have more lead time into the series, so that you know when series are happening, when they're not happening, so that you can plan for that. Obviously there are times where you want to be doing your own thing, you introduce your own content into a community group meeting, but there are times when the series are happening as well. So there are 3 series that we're going to do for this year. The first series will begin on the 4th of February, so that's right now, next week. The next is on the 15th of April, and the following one is on the 22nd of July. It's all there in the calendar. And they run for about 6-7 weeks as they stand at the moment. Something different we want to do to last year is, last year there was more of a, here are the notes, here are the videos, use them if you want. If you're doing your own thing, that's okay. We're wanting to be a little bit more strategic this year in regards to our series. And to say, remember Trevor spoke about not using the word compulsory. So I'm going to use the word mandatory, okay? We really want you to see this as an important thing and to be intentional with these series. Why would we stipulate that this is something we really encourage you to do, that we want you to take seriously and do? Primarily it's because we want to take the church on a journey together. We want to take, as Trevor primarily, me as well, as we preach in the series, we want to take you somewhere on a certain direction. It's not just messages for the sake of sharing messages. We believe that God has a plan at work for our church. It's going to come through His Word, and we want everyone to be on board with that. So it's not like we're trying to be funny. We just want to make this compulsory for the sake of it. We really do have something that we believe God has in store for us as a church. And so we want everyone to be part of making that happen. You'll see that the last series is on the 22nd of July. Each series lasts for a period of 6 to 7 weeks of messages. That'll mean that by mid-September, right through to the end of the year, you can introduce whatever content you want to introduce. That's fine. There'll be other times during the first part of the year where you can do that as well. But over those series times, please follow where we're going. I'd love it to have the desired impact and benefit to our church that Trevor and I are hoping that it's going to. In regards to having the videos and the notes to you, obviously we're going to try and get those to you as timeously as possible so that you can run with them. Obviously we need to run within the constraints that we have. Our media staff are volunteers, so we need to work with them. One day in the future we hope to be in a position where we'll have a full-time media person, but for right now we need to work within the constraints. So if you can understand, we're trying to be as effective and efficient as we can be, but if you can understand as well that if things aren't brought to you as soon as you'd like, it's the constraints that we have to work with. Secondly, community group leader training is on the calendar. So there are two times of training. The one is the 12th of May, which is Community Group Leader Training 1. Now, if you completed that last year, you don't need to do it this year unless you want to be there. So that'll be for new community group leaders who come in, who are new. Maybe some of the people you're wanting to develop, you can send to that training. And yeah, you just need to let me know, and I'll obviously ask for applications closer to the time. The second time is the 18th of August, and that'll be Community Group Leader Training 2, which no one has attended yet because we haven't offered it. And that's where we'll be looking at character, skills, health, empowering, and mission. And it's basically the 5 emphases of community group life that we want to give you training in, just to help you grow further in it. I might actually be looking for some of you to lead certain of those, a certain amount of those sessions. But I'll tell you more about that in time. Okay. The third thing on the calendar that I want you to give special attention to is the welcome lunch. We have one on the 15th of April and another one on the 9th of September. Those welcome lunches, if you have any new people in your community group who are not members at this stage of Lighthouse, that would be a great thing for them to attend. So you can draw their attention to it as the dates get closer. Last thing I want to mention is just a welcome. At this stage, I think you're aware that Pierre and Cherie are immigrating to New Zealand. They're in the process at the moment. And so they've stepped out of community group leadership. And so for their community group, Debbie, my wife, has taken on leadership there. And so Debbie, welcome to community group. It'll be great to have you a part of it, and I'll help you, I'm sure. Yeah, welcome to being a part of this journey. Community group leaders, all of you, thank you so much for all the time you invest in making your group effective. Please know that I'm here, your area leaders are wanting to support you. And maybe while I mention area leaders, can I ask you to do this? Please put in your mind the picture of a coach, not a headmaster. Your area leader is not coming to visit to making sure that you've dotted every I and crossed every T, etc. They really, really want to support you, to make sure that you are being helped, that you're being, if there's anything that you need, if you need access to anything, whether it be information, whatever it might be, they want to be there for you. And so please see them as a coach. Remember my illustration, I think it was my first message I preached at Lighthouse, where I said, I want to be in the control tower and I want you guys to be the F-16 pilots doing battle and making things happen. Your area leader is a control tower person. They're wanting to get you in the air. They're wanting to make you effective. And so please release yourself from the pressure of feeling you've got to have it all together. I led a group last week, and it's quite something to step back into the position of a community group leader and take a meeting. I know what it's like. And so we're only needing support. We're not needing a headmaster approach, etc. On that. So go make it happen. We're wanting to support you. We love you. God loves you. He's wanting to see you be impactful. And so, yeah, have a great 2018.